Going on, guys? Gonna do another quick video. So Saturday we got a couple of big fights going on. We got obviously Terrence Crawford, Amir Khan on Saturday, ESPN pay-per-view. Excuse me. And then we got on Fox, regular Fox, Danny Garcia versus Adrian Granados, also on Saturday. Sorry, I just ate some salad. Both are solid fights. Trying to think one's a better fight. I mean, Terrence got a belt, so it makes it a little more important. But both are solid. Danny Garcia is coming off a loss to Sean Porter last September in a competitive, close fight. I thought Sean was the right winner, but it was close. Um, Adrian Granados, really good resume for a contender. Fought Kermit Cintron way back in the day. Fought Frankie Gomez, who was a hot welterweight prospect. Fought Felix Diaz, gold medalist, who gave Lamont Peterson a tough fight. Who fought Terrence Crawford, I think a year and a half ago. Um, I think that was Crawford's last fight on HBO when he fought Felix Diaz. Um, who else did Granados fight? He fought Kermit Cintron, Frankie Gomez, Felix Diaz, Amir Imam when he was undefeated. Uh, who else did he fight? He fought Sean Porter 2017. He was pretty busy last. Oh, he also fought Adrian Broner too. So Granados got a cool resume. I think he probably would have been better off staying at 140. He's kind of like the 147 version of Gabriel Rosado. Tough. I think he's from Chicago. Tough. Can kind of box. Decent pop. Mad heart. Always shows a good account of himself in fights. A lot of people thought he might have beat Broner. I wouldn't argue that. He was definitely looking good those last couple of rounds. Gave Felix Diaz a tough fight. Last couple of rounds against Sean Porter, he was doing better, although you could argue that's because Sean Porter's hand was messed up. But he's a tough dude. Like I said, decent pop, really good chin, really good heart. His best qualities are probably his intangibles: toughness, heart, chin. He brings it. Like I said, he can kind of box, but he can kind of bring pressure, good volume. Um, he's just a classic. He's a legitimate challenger, contender, whatever you want to call him. Just not elite. I don't know if he'll ever be a champ, but he'll definitely give a good account of himself. Danny Garcia, overachiever, I think Hall of Famer. Fought everybody at 140. Nate Campbell, Kendall Holt, Eric Morales, legend. Zab Judah, Amir Khan, Lucas Matisse, Lamont Peterson, Paulie, Robert Guerrero, Keith Thurman, Sean Porter, Brandon Rios. I think he fought Randall Bailey too. So he's got one of the best resumes out there in terms of just career. Him, Canelo. I would also say Sean Porter's got probably a really good resume too. Um, so Danny Garcia, you can't, even though I think he didn't want to fight Victor Postal a couple of years ago. Um, I think he gave Victor Postal step aside money so he could fight Lamont Peterson at like a catch weight where they still counted it as a super lightweight defense. It was very awkward. But I think Victor Postal's with PBC now, so that's interesting. Um, yeah, he left Top Rank. That's crazy. It's funny because some people they can leave Top Rank and it's seamless. Jesse Vargas, he left Top Rank and it was seamless. Victor Postal, he left Top Rank and it was seamless. But the big name fighters, like Floyd, Oscar, Mikey Garcia, Pacquiao, even it's like they have to go through hell and back to get out of the contract. But Bob Arum will let certain fighters go. Um, Probably thinks Victor Postal is a wash fighter, but if you saw him versus Josh Taylor, I would say Victor Postal still got a few good fights left in him. I don't know if he's moving up to 147 or still campaigning at 140, but he's still a solid fighter. Um, But back to the main event for this Saturday with Danny Garcia, Adrian Granados. Good style. Danny Garcia, natural counterpuncher, really good timing. Um, doesn't do anything great, but he's pretty solid everywhere except maybe cutting. Well, he's bad at cutting the ring off. That's kind of notorious with him. He's had a couple of gift decisions. Definitely Mauricio Herrera, probably the number one. Lamont Peterson, could have gone either way. I wasn't mad that he got it. If you had Lamont winning, I won't be mad either. Or if you had it a draw, that's understandable. But I think Mauricio Herrera was definitely a gift decision. Um, but he's a good fighter, though, Danny Garcia. Hell of a chin, decent power. Um, I heard a little bit he might be struggling to make weight a little bit. Um, I'm not too shocked. That kind of happens when fighters drain themselves to make a certain weight class their whole career, like Danny Garcia did at 140. And even though he hasn't been at 147 long, he's not one of those fighters that stay in shape year round. Like Terrence Crawford, Earl Spence, Lomachenko. Who else kind of stays in shape year round? Caleb Plant, he's another one. Andre Ward, Floyd, those guys, they stay in shape year round. Pacquiao, but a lot of fighters, especially nowadays, they typically don't. They'll balloon up, 20 pounds or whatever, and then they'll have to cut massive weight. Um, it's not really good. I mean, cutting weight's bad for the body in general, in that manner, but because you're just, dehydrating yourself. But I don't think he's big enough for 154. He could fight certain competition, like maybe Jeff Horn, who I think is at middleweight or something. But I think 154 would be rough for Danny. So if he's struggling to make 147, I don't know. Doesn't seem as hungry, especially after the Keith Thurman loss. He disappeared. Sean Porter lost. Didn't disappear as bad. Um, so we'll have to see where Danny Garcia is mentally. Stylistically, I think he's the better fighter in general. Better, really a good counterpuncher. Love his timing. Good left hook. Probably an underrated body puncher. He's not always the cleanest body shots, but sometimes he goes a little too low. But I think he's a solid body puncher. Decent combinations together. Smart fighter, good ring IQ, decent power, really good chin. Both guys have chins, but it's gonna be kind of an ugly but still fun style matchup. Danny Garcia does his best work when you bring the fight to him. Adrian Granados, yes, he can box a little bit, but he more likely will not. More likely will try to bring the fight to Danny and try to outwork him like Sean Porter did. Um, Adrian Granados is pretty tall. I think he's like 5'9", with maybe a 70-inch reach, and then Danny Garcia, he's 5'8" with a 68-inch reach. Um, Adrian Granados, I think he's 26-2 with 12 knockouts. And Danny Garcia is 34-2 with 20 knockouts. Former unified champion and lineal champ at 140, and former WBC champ at 147. It's a good fight though. I don't know about the card. I haven't heard too much about it, so it's probably eh. But it's a solid fight. It's going to be a good fight. Stylistically, they're going to clash pretty well. Um, I think for Danny Garcia, pick your spots, go to the body against a taller fighter who's going to bring the fight most likely. Like I said, Granados may try to box in spurts, but from what I've seen from him, he typically wants to bring the fight. So he's going to have to try to outwork Danny. Use your height, use your length, use the jab, work off the jab. Mauricio Herrera did a great job with his jab versus Danny Garcia. Really, that's how he won the fight. He just kept jabbing him to death. If I'm Granados, that would be my style. Use movement. Don't be predictable because he is a good counterpuncher, but work off the jab. Double, triple, jab him to the body, jab him upstairs, throw overhand rights. Don't try to exchange with Danny. Danny is probably one of the best in boxing today in winning exchanges. That's how he got Amir Khan out. That's how he picked off Lucas Matisse as well. He's one of the best in the exchanges. He's a great mid-range fighter. He's pretty tactful in the mid-range distance, in the pocket. Solid in the inside, not good on the outside. So Granados, with the height and length advantage that he's going to have, he's going to want to keep the fight mostly in the outside range and really just work off that jab. Really work off the jab. Go to the body. Because, Danny Garcia, like I said, he hasn't fought in a while. He hasn't fought since September. And he's a fighter that balloons up in weight, so he doesn't, stay in shape year round. Adrian Granados, not that he fought big names last year, but he did have 3 fights last year. So he, a lot more active. I like Granados. He's solid. He's tough. He's game. Um, I don't think it'll be a stoppage for either guy. I mean, if Granados can really wear out Danny, or if Danny can really land some clean shots, but both guys got good chins. Both guys are tough. Both guys are hurt. Danny's from a rough part of Philly. Granados, he's from the rough part of Chicago. So, I mean, I can't see a stoppage, but I think it will be a fun fight, definitely. I think it's going to be a really good scrap. Stylistically, they're going to do well. Um, Danny Garcia versus the taller fighter. If Granados does bring the fight to him, which I think he will, go to the body early and often, pick him off, use combinations, slip under that overhand right that Granados is pretty good at. Granados also has a decent left hook too, but so does Danny. It's dangerous when you hook with a hooker. Danny Garcia's left hook, I trust, is better than Granados. Um, Danny Garcia got a nice uppercut too. It's not half bad too. So, um, all in all, Danny's a solid fighter. He just doesn't do anything spectacular, but he is good in most areas. Like, I think he has good defense, not great. I think he has good power, but not earth-shattering. I do think he has a really good chin, though. He's proven that. Um, so we'll see. It's a really good style clash. I'm going to pick Danny Garcia by, I'll say, a competitive, unanimous decision. So like 8 rounds to 4 type of deal. I think it'll be kind of back and forth. The first probably half of the fight, and then the second half, Danny Garcia will probably take over with his timing but I think it'll be a good scrap. So let me know what you guys think about the fight. It is on Fox Saturday. That is my official prediction. Danny Garcia by unanimous decision. Drop a comment, like, subscribe. Stay tuned.